Hi friends, it's Becky, and I'm going to be opening and organizing the Bargain Bead Box for April. And so if you don't like spoilers, this is your chance. I'm going to give you a minute to, get to wherever your settings are, if this is on autoplay or something, so that you don't have to be spoiled and see what's in this box if you haven't gotten yours yet. But if you're ready to dive in with me, then stick around because we are going to open this up, we're going to get it organized, and then at the end of this video, I'm going to make a pair of earrings with whatever is in here because for the month of April, I'm doing a challenge, a beading challenge for myself to make at least one set of earrings every day for the entire month of April. And so far, so good. I've made 5 pairs of earrings at least, and I've been doing some of them in shorts, but also I've heard some feedback that shorts can be difficult for some people to watch. So while I am still going to be uploading a short for these earrings, I'm also going to be showing in this video how to create that. So if you don't want to be spoiled, go ahead and skip from here to the end of the video where the earrings are so you can see what's on there. But But yeah, so that's the plan. Also, my friend Melanie let me know that this package is just chock-a-block with beads, and my 15 grid organizer might not be enough for it. So I pulled out my 18 grid organizer. I'm going to keep this just in case I need it, but I do like a challenge, and challenge accepted. I'm going to try fitting it all in my 15 grid organizer that I like to organize my bead boxes in. Now, the Bargain Bead Box is a subscription bead box. It is one of the most popular subscription bead boxes, and for a good reason, because there are tons of gorgeous beads. They are thoughtfully curated, and they are one of the more inexpensive bead boxes as well. So, like, the value for just quality is high, the value is high, but the price tag is low. And in addition to getting these, you also get a 30% off coupon, which I am just going to bend my paper so that it doesn't show up on here, that you can use at their sister store, Bead Box Bargains, which I love shopping there. They've started doing bundles for these they do companion bundles now, and they also do just random bundles where they pull together some of the beads from their store and put them together. And y'all know I love when people are like, oh, we'll pick out your beads for you, because that means I don't have to make those decisions. So yeah, that's a really great way to get 30% off that. They're already low prices, and they do have a pretty decent selection on their store and on their site. Now, I have had questions about the companion bundles. When they list the extras for this bead box, that's usually when they also list the companion bundles. They sell out super fast. So, be watching your email, and as soon as you get the notification that they've listed the extras, that's when you want to go check and see if they've got a bundle. If it does sell out, if the first version has sold out, check back again, because they'll usually put together a second version of that bundle, and sometimes the second version is nicer than the first. Just one of those things that I've noticed. But now that I've mentioned that, because lots of people have asked, how do I get those bundles? You got to watch the email. Wait for the announcement. It's when they list the extras. But that won't be until after everyone has gotten a chance to receive theirs, because they like to hold back those extras in case they need to send them out to somebody whose shipment got damaged or is missing, or, got missent or something like that, which is, good business practice. All right. So now that I've spun out this reveal so that in case you don't like spoilers, you can go ahead and get out of here. But if you're here, I'm going to assume that you want to see what's in here. And let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got here on our description. Blooming Branches is the name of this curation, and the trees are showing off for spring, dressed in their best buds. Y'all are my best buds. And blooms, inspired by the pinks and purples of red bud blossoms and the tulip poplars, yellows and greens. We get a lot of red buds here in Texas, by the way. Just to let you know, there are tons of them. But we also, the blue bonnets. So if there's some dark purpley blues in here with the blue bonnets and then also the red buds, that would be fantastic to see. We'll see though. We'll see what's in here. So tulip, poplars, yellows, and greens. This month's Sylvan Selections. So we've got trees. This is all about trees. 2 gemstone tree of life pendants. We got 2 of them, y'all. That's awesome. We can make so many necklaces. That's going to be so great. All right, and then we get genuine gemstone strands in rose quartz. I love rose quartz. Citrine, I love citrine too. It's one of those like yellow gemstones that I just love. It's so warm and inviting. And more, plus sparkling crystal accents, glass flowers, and a collection of silver finished findings with tree and leaf motifs. All right, now there is a list on the back with everything, but they've started labeling all of the items in the package, so I don't have to refer back to that when I'm showing y'all what's in here. I can just pick up the package and just read that to you. All right, so you've got some greens and some pinks and there's that citrine that we were talking about, and look at all of these leafy things. There are so many like focals and findings in here. All right, I'm gonna set these aside and let's go through. So many of them, so many. That's delightful. I am pleased as punch with our selection. More. All right, I'm setting aside the findings. We're going to do the beads first, and we're going to start with our strands because they are, looks like some long strands. We got 15 inches there. We've got 16 inches on this one. This one is 10. We've got 15 on the citrine. This is just a bag of those. And then we've got some of these Malaysia jades. All right, so let's start with the rose quartz. Rose quartz is one of my favorite gemstones ever. It's the first one that I ever fell in love with. And I absolutely love it. Oop. Let's pull this up so we can see. They are 8mm rose quartz beads. They are 15 inches. This is that. I'm not going down any list or in any order because I'm just pulling these out. And I don't have to go down the list because we've got all of these great labels right on the bags. All right, I'm gonna pop this open. We're gonna take a look at the pink without that hot pink. The cord makes it look pinker usually because that color shows through. And so here we go. That's that pink color right here in the dish. I love rose quartz. Let's see if these will all fit in one section, because if they don't, then I will be putting down this little divider here so that it takes up two sections. And this is one of the reasons why I might be moving it to, and it looks like we are going to need both of these sections for this large amount of beads. I love that we're getting so many. I love long strands of beads. All right, so we've got that one. Probably, since these are also 8mm and just an inch longer, so we're getting a little bit more of them, I am probably also going to be needing two sections for the violet round mountain jade. It's dyed dolomite, 16 inches. And let's get a close-up of that color. That is beautiful. That's a gorgeous, gorgeous purple. I love a nice, gorgeous purple. These are like wisteria. That's the color that this is making me think of. That purpley color. And I've got one last one wrapped up there. All right. So I've got two sections of beads. Let's go ahead and stick these guys right in between them. They are 9.5mm crystal faceted round beads in light rose AB. And I had a question on one of my other videos asking what AB was. And AB stands for Aurora Borealis, and it is a finish that gives you like multiple colors, this luminescent, multicolored finish, like the Aurora Borealis. So you've got like purples and sometimes blues and things like that. It's a really, really fun finish to have on your beads, and I love it when I do get beads like that. And these guys have facets like disco balls. So they are my Aurora Borealis disco balls. And they do all fit right in there. That is lovely. All right, so now we've got some more gemstones. These are the citrines. They are heated, but not dyed. They're 6 millimeters and there are 15 inches of these. The 6 millimeter beads on these longer strands, they usually do fit in one section. So let's open this guy up and get them put in there. I'm going to pull a couple of these off of this strand so we don't have the color of the strand affecting how we see these beads. I'm going to stick them on my little ladybug plate so you can see some of the variation in these stones. But it's such a golden, warm golden color. You know, I think I might do my painting and jewelry with this palette this month. I have some lovely light rosy colors, some really light like violet. I think mineral violet would be beautiful with this. Some quinacridone gold would be fantastic to represent this gold citrine color. And I could probably do maybe a little floral arrangement. I am not that great at florals, but I would love to have some practice doing some. So I think I might do just a little floral arrangement with y'all, using some of these same colors. We'll get some green in there for some greenery. We'll have that going. Let me know if you want to see that for some painting this month, because I love to take some beading color palettes and do it with my watercolors at the same time so that we get all of those. So that was the citrine. We've got some 6 millimeter crystal faceted bicone beads. These also have an AB finish. They are light rose AB, so they are the same color as our little disco balls over here. And again, they've got that AB finish, so it gives you that iridescent sheen. Like sometimes, I don't know if y'all ever looked at water in a puddle that had like a little film of like gasoline on it, right? And you have that iridescent shine of like all those different colors shining off of it. And I always thought that was really pretty. Like, one of those things that like it's real gross, but it's also real beautiful. And this is the same way when they put that AB finish on here, where you can get that same look and that same effect, but without like all of the pollution that goes with it. You know, something pretty to look at without having to have a film of gasoline on a puddle. Anyway, that's what I always think of when I think of AB finish, like that iridescence is that same sheen that you get on the top of water that has, yeah. That's a really weird way to look at it, but that's me. So, all right, so now we've got some 4x6 crystal faceted rondelle beads in Peridot green iris. So the base color of the crystal is Peridot, and then they've got the green iris finish on the top, and that gives you these blues and kind of purple flashing on some of these facets with that iris finish. And I love this because if you've got your flowers in your trees, you also need some leaves. And what I do not love is this wire. It is my nemesis. I always poke myself on this, so I'm being very careful with opening. In fact, I think rather than holding this longer and possibly exposing myself to the wire even more, I'm going to just get it off the strand here and then transfer these into that section. That way I can get the wire out of my way, and look at me being smart about it. Who would have thought? All right, let's get this guy in here. I think I might be able to fit all of these guys in my 15 grid organizer without overpacking it. So I've got my 18 grid just in case I need it, but I think these guys will all fit, especially if I do a couple of these smaller beads as roommates, because sometimes you gotta have a roommate situation. So on this one, speaking of smaller beads, we've got 4x3 millimeter Malaysia jade, that's dyed quartz. They are faceted amethyst, so they are not amethyst, they are dyed to mimic amethyst rondelles, which is really nice. I love that look, and it's such a great way to get like a gemstone look and gemstone feel, but at a lower price point. And look at the way that they shimmer. Since these are very loosely wrapped on here a little bit, they should be able to fit nicely. Nope, they're not. All right, never mind. I was gonna see if I could roll them up. Oh, you don't belong in here. See if I could roll them up and have them be, oh, all on their own. So let's get these guys in here. Sometimes when you've got the smaller beads, it's easier to manage them and to create with them if you leave them on the strand a little bit. But if they won't coil up nicely in my organizer, then they got to come off the strand. So I may end up actually leaving these ones on there. Which I love this bead mix, by the way. Those are gorgeous, gorgeous beads in that mix. All right. These are crystal faceted rondelle beads. They are the grapevine mix, and they are 3x2 millimeters. And they look like we've got all sorts of colors in here. We've got some mauves, we've got some peaches, we've got some grays, we've got these olive greens, we've got some bright spring greens. This is fantastic. I think I would have liked to see more green beads in here, like bright greens, but that's just me, and maybe we will get some bright greens in the companion bundles, which would be a fantastic accompaniment to this, because I love light pink and bright green. It's one of my favorite color combinations. But see how nicely it fits in there? I'm going to leave that on there because it'll be easier to manage and to create from while it's there. I'm going to wait just a minute to put this in its place, because I may need all of these spaces for all of the rest of what's in this box. There are so many bits. So many bits. So I'm just going to wait a little bit on this. They are pressed flower beads, and there are 10 of them. And I'm going to wait to put them in there until after we look at these, but I'm just going to pull them out here so you can see. Looks like they've got a hole right through the center, and these will be fantastic. Oh, you know what? I'm going to use these. I'm going to make earrings with them, so I'm going to leave them out, actually. I'm going to leave these out, and I'm going to make earrings with these later, or as soon as we're done with this and some of these bicones. Yeah, I'm doing that. That is something I'm doing. Anyway, yes, I just had an idea. Right, so we've got a chandelier focal. This is a 28 millimeter Tree of Life chandelier focal. And it looks like we've got kind of an antique silver on it. This has so many little places where you could maybe wire wrap some beads all through. Like take some of these little guys and just plop them right here on all of these little swirls with some wire wrapping. And then you could have some dangles underneath it. That is fantastic. I'm going to put this guy right here. Hold on, friend. I'm putting you back in your place. That's where you live, right there in your space. Okay. Now we've got some spacers. I'll get to those and some chain. There's so many bits to here. So let's take a look at these. They are some toggles. They are some leaf toggles. There's 2 sets of it. And one of the things that I've seen people do with this, and I haven't done it yet, is to like brick stitch some beads around the outside of one of these and have this be just an earring, which I think is pretty cool. And again, some of these smaller beads would probably be really great along there, or to use it as a connector and have some other beads maybe dangling from it. Like, you don't have to use this as a closure, but I am going to stick it over here with those. And then we've got some connectors. These are rhinestone tree charms. Oh no, they're not connectors. They are charms. How charming. 18 by 14 millimeter. And they have 2 sides to them. There's the back and there's the front. You can see the rhinestones on these guys. They are very sparkly. Right there. I'm going to go ahead and stick these in here with that guy. I'm sure that we're going to actually know. They're going to go in here because if I've got 2 of something, I want them to be together. I'm just trying to organize this for me so that I know where I'm going. And these are connectors. That is a pendant. These are going to be charms. And these are also charms. We have hypoallergenic stainless steel leaf pendants, and there's 2 of them. These are, they've got that flash from the laser cutting. These are so cool. And it looks like they're the same front and back, so you could turn them around and have them face in different directions for some earrings that are symmetrical. That would be pretty awesome. Ooh, they are a little bit long, so I'm going to set it on top of here in this organizer because there's room for them to lay out and I can still see what beads are underneath it. All right, organizing is happening. We've got some swirled Tree of Life pendants. There are 2 of them. It is 27 by 23 millimeter. And they are double-sided. How exciting. You know what would be fun? Painting this. Just painting like this around there. That would be fun. I don't know if I'll ever get around to it, but I'm just thinking out loud to myself that that would probably be a really fun thing to do, is to paint these. I'm going to stick them in here with the other pendants. All right, and now I've got one of the Tree of Life pendants. We've got so many trees. Take a look at this one. This is clear on the other side. You could probably get like a cabochon and glue it in here and have that be in the background of that. That would be kind of cool. Or, yeah. Then we've got this amethyst guy right there. Let me see. Faceted amethyst, yeah. Look how pretty that is. That is going to go, nope, that does not fit in there either. How about if we set you right on top of our wisterias? There we go. This is going to fit. It's going to fit. All right, and then we got a rose quartz Tree of Life pendant. And this one is 31 by 27 inches. It just have some really, really large focals. And I'm here for it. All right. That is set in there like that. Look how detailed that is. This is great. All right, I'm going to bend that over and stick that in there. And now I can put the hypoallergenic stainless steel Lumashina, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it or not, jewelry chain. We've got 1 meter of that. All right, and this is very intricately, just zooming in so you can see this one a little bit better. Like that. This is our chain. I'm going to stick that right here in the front. And then for the spacers, I'm going to leave them in their bags and stick them both in this section over here. So I've got some leafy bead caps and some bumpy rondelle spacer beads. I think I might get some of these guys out for my earrings that I'm making in a minute. Leafy bead caps, fold that up and stick it in here. And then our bumpy rondelle spacers, we'd get 10 grams of that. And this is what they look like. Let me just pull out the beads before the bead caps, before I show you those guys. That's what they look like. And the bumpy rondelles, kind of an antique silver finish on them. And that's what they look like. They'll be pretty good spacers for all of this. Okay, so we've got all of these guys. And that is, it's so sparkly. It is so pretty. Y'all. Yeah. I kind of love it. Kind of love it a lot. But yeah, so let's make some earrings. Let's figure this out. How am I going to be making these earrings? I'm going to grab a couple of these guys. Couple of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 8. There we go. I'll be using some of these and definitely these flowery guys. And let's make some drops. I'm going to move this out of the way a little bit and get some head pins. Let me see where my head pins are. Just have them. I finally did some bare bones organizing with some of my findings. And I've got some head pins. Let's get these silvery head pins with a ball on the end. And let's do it that way. And I'm going to make some drops, and then I'm going to be using some jump rings. And we're just going to do some clusters with some of these beads. All right, let's do 2 of those, 2 of those, 2 of those. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do more than that or not, but all right. Go ahead and make these. I'm going to make one earring with y'all, and then the other one I'll make on my own, because I'll be making it exactly the same way as the first one. So you only need to watch the first one. All right, so for the head pin, I'm going to grab one of these smaller beads, And then I'm going to drop this flower bead over it, and then put this little bead, this flower end cap, on the other side. I'm going to make myself a little wrapped loop right here. And this guy, where is my round nose pliers? I'm using some chain nose pliers. There's my round nose pliers. And then I've got some flush cutters for cutting my wire. So now that I've bent that just a little bit, I'm going to make a little loop around here. These are some head pins with some pretty strong wire, so I'm kind of having to use a bit of effort to make my wrap loop. There we go. So that's one of them. I'm going to do another one exactly like it. I'm going to go a little bit faster with these because otherwise we'll be here for an hour, which I know some of y'all don't mind. But I do have some things I need to do today. So let's get this made. All right, I'm going to cut this after I've done the other loops on the other ones. So for the second type of drop, I'm going to put this bicone down here at the end, and then the same flower, like that. And again, the leaf bead cap right there on the end. Make a little drop. And I'm just bending this around. All right. So there's two different types, and then one more just like that one. And one of these. Perfect. Perfect. All right. I love a nice cluster earring, especially when you've got like these little drop beads. You can do this with like those lucite flowers as well. It's another great way to use them in this type of drop bead. In fact, I've got some lucite flowers that I have been meaning to do this type of project with. These are check glass though, not lucite. So the lucite ones, because they are much lighter than these, I could probably do more flowers, but with these I think 4 is going to be my maximum for those. And then we've got these smaller beads, and I'm just going to go ahead and plop a couple of these just right here on these head pins. And actually, let me do 2 more on there. Let me get these out for this one. Just putting together my little 1, 2, 3, 4. My bead kit for my things that I'm making later. And let's do 4 of these guys. So we have 2 with the purple bead, 2 with the pink bicone, and then we were going to have 4 with these Peridot flavored guys. And again, I'm just going to do wrap loops on all of these. Right. The reason I bend over the top of that wire is so that I have room here between the bead and where my loop is going to be to do my wrapping. That's the whole reason I do that. But also bending the wire before you make a loop ensures that your loop will be sort of centered over that bead, like a lollipop instead of like a P or something, or a Q, or the number 9. Right. You don't have to use pliers for this. You can use other things. It just gives me a nice uniform spot to be able to bend it over so that I have some room for that. Right. And one more. So you're getting a little glimpse in my automation process when I have to make a lot of things that are the same. I'm trying to minimize too much excess movement, make it as efficient as possible. All right, and the reason I hold on to this end of this wire when I cut it is because there is some force that's generated when the cutter clips. That force travels through the bit of wire and it will go flying off if you're not holding on to it. And my fingers, when they're holding it, absorb that force. I've explained in some of my other videos how sometimes if there's not enough room for me to hold on to it, I'll point it downward so that that flies into my bead mat instead of all over the place. But if I can hold on to it, I'll just go ahead and do that. Did you see how that moved a little bit when I clipped it? That was that force traveling through there. Oh, and that one, even though I had my fingers on it, it pinged off across the area because I wasn't holding on tight enough to catch it. Yep, that's what happened. All right, here we go. So what I'm going to do now is grab some of these jump rings and we're going to be opening and closing them. And so I am going to grab just another set of pliers. Here we go, to hold the other jump rings open. So I want to hold one side steady, like that, while I twist with these other pliers to just move the wire out of the way. Now I'm going to put 2 of my drops on that jump ring and then close it up. That's the start of my cluster. You can see it right there. Now I'm going to grab another jump ring and open it up the same way. And for this one, I am going to put on one of these green ones. I'm going to slide this jump ring from the previous one onto it. So it's green, then the jump ring, then another green one, so that these green ones are on either side of that jump ring. I'm going to close that up. Right. So if we're looking at it, we've got them like that. You've got 2 drops there and a jump ring, 2 drops there and a jump ring. And then the next one that I'm going to make, we're going to open up a jump ring. I'm going to put one of my purple drops on it. I'm going to slide the jump ring that I just opened and closed onto this one, and then put my other purple drop on there, like that. See how it's jangly and dangly already? Close it up. Perfect. Right, let's get this spread out so you can see it a little bit better. So I've got each of these attached to their own jump rings, and then one more jump ring. I'm going to take this guy, open this up, put on one of my green ones, this jump ring that was between these 2 purple ones, and then another green one, and then close this one up. And this is the thing that I'm going to attach to an ear wire. So let me get an ear wire. There we go. Got one right here. All right. Let's go ahead and get that on there. I just want that last jump ring. I just connected these two, that one right there. That's the one that I want on my ear wire. Let's swing that open and then swing it closed. Boop. Now I have a jangly dangly blossomy, florally, springy earring. That's wonderful. Okay, so I made one of these with the bead box. I'm going to make the second one afterwards. Let's get one last look at this bead box. I love it. It's very springy. It's perfect. It's perfect. And I hope y'all are having a wonderful time.